purchased their brand new 64mm F-16 Fighting Falcon. Comes in two liveries. You can get the Thunderbird or the military gray with a full Ordinance package. So we got the gray, and it has scale-ish landing gear. Let's see, we got 40 amp ESC, high power, 2840, 3150 kV, 64mm motor. It says it's high efficiency 12 blade, and high precision digital servos. It's got 3 drop tanks and a bunch of missiles, and it has ball links. It's EPO foam, so you can paint it or add decals, your own stuff if you want. I believe it comes with 5 sets of decals, but yeah, let's get into it. Let's open her up. First thing I see is a big old set of decals. Let's open both sides so that we can just push it right on out. There we go. If I get my finger up under there. Oh, yeah. Get out of that box. FMS tends to fit big things in small packages, so let's get decals untaped here. It looks a lot like the 70. That is a thick manual. It comes with the decals already on the wings, so you don't have to apply the line decals. That's nice. That's a cute little drop tank. Look at that thing. Oh, the little belly fins lock in, so that's different. You don't have to glue those. That's a nice upgrade. All right, here's the gear. So it's wire and plastic gear. That's probably backwards. Yeah. Anyway, there's the mains and the nose gear with a swiveling trailing link, and oh, shock absorbing nose gear. And a lot of little missiles. Curious to see how it flies. Man, look at that nose. We got the side pedos on this one. It's like they took the 80mm and shrunk it. It's a lot closer to the 80 now than the 70. Let's look at the livery options. Yeah, so we got the Toledo Stingers, we got the Lobos. That's what my 70 is the Lobos. So it's the same decals that you get with the 70. All right, so first step is to put the wings on. Just like any standard plane. Stick the wing spar through. And there's 2 sets of servo wires. So one is going to be your ailerons and one is going to be your LEDs. Alright, so when you plug these in, the LEDs are a smaller servo connector. It's red and black. So you just make sure that the LED plugs into brown and red. Match black to brown, red to red, and you'll be good to go. Just got to match the wire colors. So when I plug in the LEDs, you want red and black to plug into brown and red here. So that's got to turn, and I know my hand is in the way, but as soon as you get it in, there we go. You can see there's a little gap, but I've got brown to black, red to red. And then, of course, here, you just go yellow to yellow, red to red, and brown to brown. Give it a little push. There we go. And then we start tucking everything in. Oh, we can't do that because I gotta move this over here. Okay. We just start tucking wires into the fuselage here. Just like that. Maybe get in there. And then there should be enough space for the wires in the back end of the servo leads. I'm gonna need this just to get it lined up to go back into the holes from whence they came. Maybe. Oh. Get in there. Boop, there we go, perfect. And you just do the same thing on the other side. So I'll do that real quick. Got the wings on. You just shut the camera off for the other wing. You couldn't see it anyway, there's no point. If you guys see one, you can do the other. We're gonna put glue here, some glue here. We'll put these in and maybe clamp it down. I got a little clamp that we can put on there just to hold it on, but it looks like it actually fits really well. I might not need the clamp. So they left us this little servo channel, this wire channel here that we can force that into. But the problem is we're gonna connect this, and I see a downside here. I don't like knocking anything, but what am I supposed to do with all this extra slack that's not gonna fit in this channel here? Like, I see that it was a fun concept to make a little channel, but there's nowhere to put the extra wire. So that's kind of annoying. Like, it's just big enough for the end of this to fit. And then I'm gonna cut these labels off, or they're just gonna be flapping in the breeze. But yeah, so there's a couple things that I would change myself, but that's all right. I bet it still flies good, so there's that. Cut the little tags off. We're still recording? Mm-hmm. Okay. Cut the tags off. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Cut the little tag off. And try not to cut through a wire. Perfect. And I'm gonna cut the tag off this because I know that's an elevator. Perfect. Okay. All right. And just like the 70, you just run some glue inside. Oh, wow. Oh, this is the glue. Okay, this is free wing glue, and if it gets on anything, it's gonna bubble it. I should have thought about that before using it. But we'll just try and be careful and not have it bubble out anywhere. Hopefully. And let's see if I can get that to clamp on there. Maybe right there. Just enough to hold it. Just enough to hold it. Yeah. That'll work. Okay. And I'm just doing the same thing on the other side. Probably shouldn't have had it attached just yet. But maybe we can get it to go down the side like this. There we go. Huh. Come on, stop rotating. Stop rotating. There we go. Okay. If we get it to go flat and put a crease down in the end down there, we just might, well, easier said than done, I guess. Oh, almost. Can we get that to stuff down in there? Make sure that our stabs, I'm just banging into stuff. Make sure that our stabs are staying tight. And that doesn't look too terrible. There we go. There we go. Get them wires down in there. Now, when you get those wires shoved in and out of the way, you can add a little tiny drop of glue up in there to keep those wires tight. All right, so we got this sweet little glue thing. I can't remember what it's called.
Bondex.
Bondex. So all we're gonna do is run a little bead right on here. You gotta squeeze it. It comes out. And cap it. And then you shine this little light on, this UV light. And it cures the glue. Pretty fun. It's pretty sweet for light repairs, or if you need to hold something in place. Probably wouldn't use it on a major control surface like a stab. We haven't tested it enough to know if it'll work, but after just a few seconds, it's dry. And if you're going to use a clamp, you just want to make sure that you don't clamp it so tight that it puts a dent in your foam. All right, now we're labeled Rudder, and this one's going to be the LED. So I'm just going to plug this right into the rudder. Yellow to yellow. Maybe, man, these are, okay, there we go. They sure made them tight. And then you gotta go black to red on the LEDs, which I'm just gonna take that tape off. Because, ooh, we might have to pull those wires in from the canopy. Because, yeah, those are gonna have to go in the hole. Okay. So we gotta take that tape off. That way we can pull it. And I gotta take this tape off because that is not gonna fit. Oh, let's see, how far back does that go? Right there? Okay, yeah. Okay, so we go black to black, red to red on the lights. There. And then we can pull some of the wires up front. And let's see which one's going to pull first. The back one. Okay. And we want to pull the front one down into that hole. Yeah. Okay. You're gonna have to get that wire and the servo connector to where the back of the rudder is gonna fit. And then that one should be able to just bend and go down in the hole. Just like that. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna put glue And then I'll get glue on my fingers, that way it doesn't drip on the outside of the plane. I'm gonna put glue all right here. We're gonna put some glue right here. And we're gonna get some glue right here. Come on, stupid little strings. All right, then we put a little glue here. And a little glue here. Stringers, get out of here. And then we want a little glue all the way up to the front. Not too much. What are you doing? Stop it. There we go. And you don't wipe the glue off your fingers. And this is going to be where you gotta make sure that the LEDs and the rudder wires go right into their slots. Don't you hang out, tag. And I should be able to push that down just like that. We're gonna have to hold that in place for a little bit. All right, so we're gonna put the nose gear in, and there's a hole here and a slot here. So the gear goes through the hole. This just sits right here, and there's a shaft. I don't know if you can see inside the inlet, but if I put this tire or the gear in, it's gonna slide down right over that shaft under there. And then there's a set screw. And you just got to put the set screw right in, right there. Oh, and not cross-thread it. Oh, come on. You can do this. Oh, I can't tell if that's cross-threading. I think it is. Okay, come on. Come on, baby. Don't. Okay, I need that. Is better. There we go. Okay. And in theory, yep. And we got the mains. And that's going to be that side. So the wire just goes right in the slot here. Put it on the side you guys can see. Okay. So the wire goes right down in the hole, and it's in a slot right there. And it all just kind of sits perfectly. And there's a little cover. And, oh, that's for that side. These are side specific. There's a little notch on the other side. So that one's for that. And that's the wrong one. Take this. I guess in theory, if you have a nice grass runway, you might be able to belly land this, but it is definitely not designed to be belly landed because you won't have your ventral fins. Those will rip off. And yeah, an F-16 just isn't the best plane to belly land. Although Ross has done it. Ross had a gear malfunction a couple weeks ago and had to belly land his free-wing F-16 70 on the grass. There we go. And all that's left pretty much is finishing touches and receiver. Central fins, they just got little clips like the Ordinance. So they just pop on and just slide right on, just like that. That was pretty easy. And if I can get it lined up right, there we go. And here's a center tank. Let's put that monster on. If it'll fit. Boop, there we go. slide it on. Holy cow, that's a lot of ordnance. Look at this amount of ordnance. Holy crap, that's crazy looking. Wow. All right. And let's see how we can set this thing down. Well, I guess that works right on that. No, oh, duh, the landing gear's on, so I probably don't need the stand anymore, actually. Let's move that over there. And we can just set the plane down, and I'm sure it's gonna plop on its butt like every other F-16. The nose cone's pretty nice too. It's not magnetic, it has a clip. There's just this is what they've been doing lately, is this little nub goes right into a clip there. And so all you do, push it in. And we can grab a battery for some weight. This says it takes a 2200 to 2600 4S battery, which we have right here. It also looks like maybe a 3200 will fit. So we will throw a 3200 in there and see if it'll CG. But we're just gonna use a standard 4-channel receiver, because it looks like maybe it has reverse thrust. I'm not sure, but it's a 64, and we are never gonna need reverse thrust on a 64mm RC plane. So if it does come with reverse, we're not gonna know about it. But we got throttle right into channel 1, and we got elevator, rudder. Here's the ailerons. We got ailerons, and we got elevators, and we got rudders right there. There's all 4 channels, and the LEDs are just plugged in with them. And with that, we can just slide all these electronics right back into the fuse here. And we don't got to worry about gyro placement, which I'm not terribly concerned about needing a gyro on a 64. Let's just shove that in there. And we'll open the straps up a little bit. Well, yeah, here. Let's open the straps so that I can get the Velcro out. Boop. And we're just gonna drop the battery in there real quick, just like so. And it's got an XT60, so we have an adapter for that. Now, I probably shouldn't show you guys this, but you can force an EC3 into an XT60. It's not recommended though. I do not recommend that. All right, let's pop the canopy on real quick. Oh, I like this too. Look, the push button canopy. You just push the top, push the button, canopy pops right off. Boop. So, yeah. All right, before we do the transmitter setup, we got to do the CG, which is 75 to 85 millimeters back. So there we go. And put it up there. And put it up there. And put it up there. And that one should be right on that circle. Yep, dot there. Okay. Now let's see where the CG is with that 2200 in there. That's the front CG. That's tail heavy. Let's put it on the back CG. Oh. So So just dumping the battery in, it CG's right on the back CG. So I think we might be able to fit a 3200 in here. Should we give that a shot? I think so. Let's pop the 2200 out real quick. And make sure that the canopy will close. Ooh, the canopy closes. All right, let's see. That might be a little nose heavy. But I did slide it pretty far forward. So, yeah, okay, hold on. I slid it too far forward.
That means it will CG with the 32.
I think it'll CG with the 3200. It's still slightly nose heavy, but I got a lot of space to move back. So let's just put the 3200. Let's go CG now. Front CG mark. Oh yeah, look at that. Easily put a 3200 in here. There's still room to go back, so if you want high alphas, see that's the back CG. I'm just at the very front CG, and there's still plenty of room to move back. So if you want to move it back for high alpha, you can do it. Perfect. All right. All right, so we got the IX-14, and we're gonna add a new model. Default, airplane, create. Oh, sorry everybody, didn't pay attention to the glare. And down here we got acro, we click on that. We can change the name. Wait for the keyboard to pop up. Oh, I might have to touch it again. There we go. And we go. Check. And we're just gonna monitor 4 channels today. Okay. And category is an airplane. We're not gonna, yeah, that's my bad. Okay. And then we can, oh, no. And then we just back out. Sorry, I forgot how to use my own transmitter. Model adjust, it's model setup. And we want aircraft type, proceed. And, well, yeah, actually, that should be a normal wing and a normal tail. So, that's good. And we have no channel signs, no, we don't need any of that. Servo setup, throttle cut, we're gonna put on channel H. Switch H, okay. And we don't need flight modes or anything. Dual rates in Expo, we'll get set up shortly. So let's turn it on and bind it. We're just gonna plug it in. We're gonna hold the bind button. Now you can see, well, you can't really see, but see the transmitter flashing there? Okay. So we're gonna hit bind and long press to bind.
Binding.
Put the throttle cut on.
DSMX 22 milliseconds. Telemetry.
It's gonna analyze packets. And let's check our control surfaces. Ailerons are reversed. Elevators are correct. Rudder and nose wheel steering is correct. All right. So we go to model adjust, servo setup. It's already on reverse. We're going to reverse the ailerons, and now we got functional ailerons. Perfect. Okay. So our aileron, or our rudder, should be moving 22 millimeters at 100% Expo, and we got 22. And our elevator should be moving 20. So at 100% rates, you should have 20 millimeters movement. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. And then the ailerons should be 12. And let's check the ailerons. Right there. And yeah, we got 12 millimeters. Okay, so high rates, that's what we want. And I'll show you what I've done here for my Expo. So model adjust, dual rates in Expo. I've put my aileron on switch C and my elevator on switch E. Let me back that out. There we go. And my rudder is on switch F. And I like low rates high up top, so all the way to 0. See 0, that's low, 2 is high. So all my high rates will be down like that. That way, when I'm ready to fly, I know all my switches go forward. All the switches go away from me. But, so we know that we're good at 100%. So what I'm going to do is go to low rate aileron, and we'll change that. We'll change low rate aileron to, let's try 70. We'll do the same thing for all the other control surfaces, and then we'll see where it's at. So elevator, we'll go down to 70. Okay. And rudder, oh, let's switch to low, and we go to 70. Okay. And when I switch up, yeah, okay, so low rates, I'm gonna set 70 on everything, and let's check where that puts our movement. So the book says that elevators should give us 18 millimeters up and down in low rates. That's not a big difference between high and low, but there we go, okay. And we got, that's a little low, I think. Yeah. So, oh, I'm on rudder anyway. Let's see, elevator. I said elevator, 70%. So let's try 80% for our low rates. Let's see if we can get our 18. Pretty close. There we go. We'll go with 80. And that means I'm going to set my mid rate at 90% for the elevators. So if we look, my elevator, 100, 90, and 80. And I'm going to put about 30% Expo on everything. I'm not going to show you every single one, but I like about 30% Expo on all my control surfaces. I like it to be nice and docile. Oops, can't even see what's changing. There we go. And I'm going to do that for each one. But let's do the rudder. Rudder low rates should be 18 millimeters left and right, so that's fine. Let's see where that's at. That's 70%. See if that's about 18. That is about 18. So rudder is fine. 70% for low rate rudder, which means I'm going to go about 85% for my mid-rate rudder. Okay, and then we'll do ailerons real quick. Aileron low rate should be 8 millimeters. So I have ailerons at 70% for my lows, and that is just a little bit high. So let's go to 65. So low rate aileron is gonna be, yep, there we go, that's better, 65%. And I'm just gonna do 85% for my mid rates. Okay, so for aileron, my rates are going to be 100, 85, and 65 with 30% Expo. And then my elevator is going to be 100, 90, 80 with 30% Expo. And then my rudder is going to be 100, 85, and 70 with 40% Expo. I like a little more Expo in my rudders. And then I'll show you one audio event. So switch change reports. I'm going to add 4 of those. And I'll do my first one. Switch is going to be C. I don't have landing gear. So position 0 is going to be aileron. And I'm going to copy that word because it doesn't like to auto-spell aileron. Aileron, low, and I did this backwards, you guys. Aileron low rates, and paste. Aileron mid, boop, rates. Rats rates. What is happening here? Switch C. Okay, there we go. And we're going to do paste aileron high rates. Force a habit. I did these backwards. So let's go fix that right now. Model adjust, dual rates and Expo, 165. So we're going to change that to 100. And change that to 65. I got my highs and lows backwards. That's an old habit. So elevator, or I guess rudder, sure. We've got rudder 70, so we're going to change that to 100. And that to 70. If you make a mistake, it's super easy to just go back in and fix it. And then we're going to do the same thing for elevator. We want 100. There we go. Okay, now we're correct. There we go. That's how I like to do it. But now when I move my aileron,
Aileron mid rates, aileron high rates, aileron low rates.
And I'm going to do that for the other rates and the throttle cut. And that should be all I need for this plane. Okay, and the last thing,
Timer reset.
is the timer. So we go countdown. We're going to go 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Throttle stick over 25% is fine. Then we go timer alerts. And for my EDFs, I only like to hear timer reset. And every minute down is voice. 1 minute we do voice vibe high. 30 seconds we do voice vibe high. 20 seconds I do a tone. 10 seconds voice is fine. 10 to 1 I go voice vibe high. I change this, go into macros, and pick timer, remaining time, X, X, check that, and that will give me the remaining time, and timer expired. I like to change this to time to, no, to, what are you doing? Land, there we go. And there we are. We should be set up. We just got to do a range test and we can fly.
Alligator high rates.
What's up, everybody? It's James and Steve with RC Air Shenanigans. We are going to fly the new FMS 64mm F-16. We only have the thunder tips. We have the wingtip missiles on for the Maiden Flight. The next flight we'll put all the Ordinance on and see how it flies with all of the Ordinance. But pretty scale looking gear. Too bad, I wish it was retracts, but it's all right, it looks scale. We'll see how it goes. And with the wind, it feels like it's kind of coming out of the southeast, so I think we're gonna take off right to left. But yeah, here it is. I didn't put any of the decals on, so these are the decals it comes with pre-applied. You get 5 sets of water slide decals, but let's do it. Man, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go left to right. It's swirling a little bit. We got right is right, left is left.
Rudder mid-rates.
Up's up, down is down, left is left, right is right. And I'm gonna take 30 steps and do a range test real quick. All right, 30 steps away, hold the bind button. We have no gyro, just a 4-channel receiver in it, so might be a little wonky in the wind, but
Throttle cut off danger.
yeah, we should be all right. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go. And whenever you're ready, there we go. Full throttle, back off the throttle a bit, and we need some up trim. All right. All right, let's bring it back around. Oh, not too far. Disappeared in the wind, or in the mountain. All right, we'll need some more up. Hold the button long enough to get the trim going. I just have to manually. Well, that's all right. We'll get her flying good. Maiden flights are always boring. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Fix that rudder. go. That looks pretty trim.
1 minute.
Burn.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Should have tried a high alpha.
4, 3,
That's all right.
1. Time to land.
Coming in hot. Nice. Sweet. Where are you going? Come back. Oh. F-16's got a really skinny wheelbase, so you gotta let it just roll out or you'll wingtip it after you land. So let's bring her back. And taxi's just like the 7. That's alright. So far, I like it. It flies good. Flies just like an F-16. Flies like the FMS 70, just smaller. Let's put the Ordinance on and see how it goes. All right. Okay, we're running a 4S3200, which might be a little heavy for this plane. We haven't tried it on the 2200 yet, but let's see, 2.5 minute flight and we still have 50%. So you can fly for at least 4 minutes with this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna do well, you know what? I'm gonna drop to a 2200 when I put all the Ordnance on, because it's gonna be flying heavy. So we'll see how it flies with the 2200. With flight number 2, full Ordnance package, smaller battery, just because it seems like it might have been a little heavy. With the 3200, I don't want to do the maiden flight of Ordnance with the 3200 in it. And are you chasing us with that F-22? All right, we'll let the F-22 get set up. Look at that. That's a good looking bird. I've been flying in mid rates, which I have at 85%. And 30% Expo on everything. You're good. Oh, you got a hand launch, huh? Okay. All right, take it off. Oh, buddy. Oh, we're flying straight now. I don't know what that was, but oh, okay. We need some down trim. The Ordnance sure does make it fly high. All right.
Change your flight mode, yeah?
I forgot to set up flight. I was gonna set up flight modes with the Ordnance, and I didn't. So we just gotta retrim a little bit. Full Ordnance package, it climbs, which makes sense. All right, I think we're good now. Let's get in line with Ben here. Oh, yeah, here, I'll back off.
Okay, I'm good.
Starting my turn. Staying at about half throttle, Ben. Ooh, still climbing just a tiny bit. There we go. If you get the nose pointed up, it climbs like crazy with all that Ordnance.
You're smoking me for sure.
I'm only half throttle.
Yeah, and you're half throttle.
Alright, we're gonna hit it, and we're gonna go vertical. Let's do it. Woohoo! That Ordinance definitely adds some drag, but it's flying good. Nice slow pass for you. It's flying surprisingly good for having no gyro. All right, we got one more pass, and then we got to set up for landing. Oh my God, I lost you. There you are. Sorry. All right, we're gonna set up for landing.
7, 6, 5, 4.
I'm sure we probably got more time, but with all that Ordinance, all right, let's start backing off the throttle. Oh, we are coming in hot.
Oh, that Ordinance slows it right down.
Man, the Ordinance makes it way more floaty for sure.
Rudder high rates.
I was legit worried about flying it with all that Ordinance, but it flies great. It's super floaty with the Ordinance, so I suggest setting up flight modes on a 2-position switch, so you have your regular flight mode, and then you can flick it into Ordinance mode basically and reset up the trims. So I'll do a tutorial of that and show you how to do it. But that's going to be what we do, is set up 2 different flight modes, one for full Ordinance, one for clean. But yeah, it flies great. We love it. Let's go check the battery. Let's see, I don't have it on me. So yeah, let's go check the battery. All right, on the 4S, 2200 with full Ordinance package, 2 minutes and 30 seconds of flight time. We are at 27%. So if you use the 2200 in full Ordinance, you're gonna get about 2.5 minutes, 3 if you're real light on the throttle. All right, Steve is gonna try it with the 3200. Let me just show you real quick where the battery goes for us. 3200 with Ordinance. It might fly really heavy, I'm not sure. I can't, hold on, sorry, there we go, okay. The battery's basically all the way back with Ordinance, but CG's right on the front line, so probably shouldn't be doing high alphas with full Ordinance package anyway. But yeah, let's do it. The wind's picking up, so let's see how it flies with this much wind and no gyro. Looks like it's dropping a little bit, but not bad. Oh, didn't realize he was going up. Get over, nice. Nice test. Nice. Nice. Yeah, high alphas. Got quite a bit of power for a 64. Not bad at all. It's a lot of ordnance. 3 drop tanks.
10, 9, 8,
3 sets of missiles.
6, 5, 4, 3.
All right, let's see how Steve lands this bird.
Time to land.
Nice. Should have plenty of battery left. Dustin, will you grab a tester real quick?
Rudder high rates. Rudder mid rates.
Look how cool that thing looks taxiing back. It's actually a good looking 64mm F-16. What's up, pilot? All right, pop the canopy. Let's test that battery. See where we're at. That was 2.5.
What's the timer say, Dustin, on there?
Yeah, so
little
hold
over
your
2.5.
finger on the number. Oh yeah, so just over 2.5 minutes. And we are at
51%.
51%. There we go. 3.87. So yeah, you can get 5 minutes out of this thing on a 3200. Probably set it for 4 minutes. Make sure you got time for go around. But yeah, nice flying, Steve.
High Alpha's nice.
Yeah, it does. Dang. Look at that thing. Man, that's a good looking plane.